Yeah.
Sure. We'll make a scene.
Yeah.
Maybe the Shabbos should make a big scene.
Yeah, you should.
I'd like to do something like that. Goes to Chazar, and that comes the hot stuff. Let's finish up.
First we'll do the siyum, then we'll do the chazara.
And how long, much chazar are we doing?
Between 6 to 3
Let's finish up, and then we'll discuss the plan and how to do it.
Alright.
So everybody's going to be retired.
We should finish early today, not that much left. So after we finish, we'll discuss the future. What the future holds.
Did you get the exams?
I got some exams. Too easy, that's the problem.
Too easy. This is good.
You don't mind these.
Yeah, we got it.
The last exams are hard. The halacha-theory are hard. This is multiple choice, you know.
Oh, you love multiple choice.
You learn.
You love multiple choice.
We'll see.
Is this question going to be yes, no, maybe? Just maybe. Come on.
Okay.
Siman
Gimel, middle of Siman Gimel. Last week we started, we did the beginning of Siman Gimel, and we said, let's go through the Mechaber again quickly. Kater Eichel Nevelis, a Kater who eats Nevelis, ain't Bezdin Mesivul Nafrishai. Bezdin doesn't have to stop it from eating the Nevelis. Aval Oviv, Mitzuvar, Lidgabar, Nafrishai, Issa Deraisa. A father is mechuyev to stop a child from doing an Issa Deraisa, even an Issa Derabanan, the Mishmur speaks out. And we spoke out last week that all this is if the Katan is doing it for himself. The Katan is doing something for himself, then Bezdin is not Mitzvah Nafrishai, and the father is mechuyev to stop him out chinuch. But if the Katan is doing it for a gadol, we spoke out last week, you have to stop him. He is not allowed to do any malacha, any isser for a gadol. Now, the next half of the Siman, or Seif, speaks about giving a Katan something to eat. So the Mechaber says, but to give him to eat, biyadayim, to feed him, dvarim ha'asurim atzur, afilu dvarim sha'asurim medivrei seifim, even things that are awesome medivrei seifim, you're not allowed to give to a Katan. V'chein asur l'ha'gilai b'chilu Shabbos, and now that be margal a child and Chil Shabbos and Moed and Yom Tov, v'afilu b'dvarim shehem mishum shvus. Even things that are mishum shvus. This is even Bezdin. Bezdin is also to give to any child dvarim ha'asurim. Culture and the parents, but any other Yid, any other Jew is not allowed to give a different one, a Katan dvarim ha'asurim, even if it's only asim in the Rabbanon.
What's this Lashon Divrei Sofrim?
The Rabbanon. The Seif is the Lashon
Is there a reason why they use that here?
Seif is right. I know a lot of times in the halacha and Shabbos, the very Seif is the Lashon of the Rabbanons. So now that I give him something to eat. And it's not just eating, it's any Dvarim Ba'asurim. So let's first see over here the Magen Avram, Seif Cotton Gimel. V'achila b'yadayim. V'ayim Seif Perites the Shabbos, the Asal Lita Latinik, Chag of Chai. You know how to give to a child a Chag of Chai, which is a live grasshopper, which is a tummy, which is not kosher. Lischai boy, why Shemiyamas v'yachlenu, because maybe it will die and he'll eat it. V'afil davish ein by Isser ela mishum bal f'shaktu. Also, Lita and Liyadoi, you're not going to give it into the hand of a child. So it comes out over here, the Chiddush, that, one second, Koshkin Dover Tomei, the Chazil Oichla Ve'enei, but Dover Tomei, they can eat it the way it is, you're not allowed to give to a child. The Chen Kosev Agos HaShrisham Batam, the Havi Keman de Machila Biyadayim. You give a child something in his hand, and you know it's very easy for him to eat it. It's called Machila Biyadayim, Ayin Siman, Reish Tabach Zayin, Sizayin, Sizayin, Veis, Sizayin. Avamuta Litein, Oif Tomei, this chayk, you have to give him a bird, a non-kosher bird. Why? The Africa of the Yamus, even though the bird will die, he doesn't eat it the way it is. I guess grasshoppers, they ate it the way it was, and birds, they didn't. So therefore, a child, you have to give him something that you know, easily he'll go ahead and eat it. That's called Safina Le'biyadayim, a very common mistake people have. You're not going to go give something to a child.
Just like you're giving him to play with, but you're afraid he might eat it.
Right.
It doesn't matter, like
So feeding that doesn't mean you're feeding him, putting it directly to his mouth. Even if you're giving it to him and you're handing it to him, you know he's going to eat it, you're not allowed to. So if you have something non-kosher food, and I'm going to say soon, non-kosher food, you should not put kids shouldn't eat no matter what, because it's halacha-theory, it ruins the heart, and therefore you have to be careful with that. But even the varm hasur malachas hasurat, turning on a light on Shabbos, right? So you're not allowed to take a kid and bring him to a light which you should turn it on Shabbos. That's called safin levi yadayim. That's called you're giving him davar asur. If the kid goes himself and turns on a light on Shabbos, so do you have to stop him or not? That's the beginning of the Seif. A father is mechuyev to stop him. Bezdin is not mechuyev to stop him. That's if he's doing it for himself. If he's doing it for you, even Bezdin is mechuyev to stop him. We have to get this straight. It's clear. We're talking about now a cotton is doing something for himself. If he's doing it for you, everyone's mechuyev to stop him. If he's doing it for himself, only a father is mechuyev to stop him. So you see a kid turning on a light, a father is mechuyev to stop the child from doing it. But Kolshkin, if you pick up a child, even if it's not your child, you pick him up and you're helping him do something, that's called safin levi yadayim, and that's also, even if it's not your own child, even somebody else's child is also.
But when you say a father is mechuyev to stop his child, that's out steal. That's out
Chinuch, correct. Maybe I'll squeeze his benoy, so in the child scene.
But that's at his point. Your 2-year-old that's playing with a fire truck, and in the other room you hear the thing going.
So that's the question. We'll see soon. I mean, the passion is that even a 2-year-old child was playing with in the stands, he's doing something wrong. You have to stop him. We saw last week, we don't understand when he's doing b'chlal, so then you don't gain anything by stopping him. Because he'll never remember that it's awesome. But when it's a drop older, when he's a 4 or 5-year-old child, and he's doing something, it's awesome. So we'll see soon that if it's a tzarech, the kid needs it, then you're allowed to leave him. You're allowed to even give it to him. We'll see soon what a tzarech means. What a tzarech does mean, there's 2 types of things. Something called a tzarech, it's a necessity, and something called the tzarech ha-katan, for the use of the katan. It's 2 different things. The tzarech means he needs it. He needs to eat something. He has no other food to eat, so then you're allowed to give him something, maybe even though it's just a d'rabbanan. But for the usage of the katan, it's not a heter. People mistaken that since we see soon that the tzarech, you're allowed to do certain things for a katan, they say that the tzarech ha-katan, everything is mutter, which is not true. Doesn't mean for the child, it means the tzarech means it's necessary.
There's another category also even for an infant, which is ma'afolos asura, it's not due, because it's become the nephew.
Yeah, you shouldn't do a zichah to a kid.
Right.
It's come to Masalev.
So if the kid's going to have a tantrum and scream a shot, you still have to stop him? Yeah. I'm just saying,
You just in the room like your wife angry.
Well, it's called a tzarech because he's going to get sick from it.
Whatever, yeah.
And it's not good chinuch anyway. You shouldn't give it to him during the week, you shouldn't give it to him. Restoring his tantrum.
It's got a car that makes that's electric and you're turning it on and off, right?
And you know, if you take it away from him, if you don't let him do it, he's going to throw a tantrum. If it's a little child, doesn't understand what you're talking about, then that's fine. Yeah, if it's a little child, it's fine. You can let him do it. But if it's an older child that understands, then you have to explain it to him.
That's why there's Erev Shabbat for Shabbos. So on Erev Shabbat, you take all the toys that make noise and keep them aside, and there will not be a problem.
Practically speaking, it's also for you to touch that truck, or for a child to touch it. How do you take it away from him?
Take the kid away from the truck.
You tell him the kid away from the truck. Okay. Or maybe, really, it's maybe the responsibility of parents not to have those things around.
Yeah, shouldn't have them around. But it's hard. Before Shabbos, to go to your toy clubs every Shabbos, before I'm talking about your toys, it's hard. Let's explain to the kid, Shabbos, you're not allowed to do it. And usually, when a kid's over the age of understanding, he won't fight. If he's young, he's throwing a tantrum, usually it's because he doesn't understand what's wrong with it. But if you tell a kid at Shabbos, you're not allowed to do it, and usually, if he's of age, he understands. Okay, says the Mogen Weiter, the Shtiyas HaMayim Hezekloi, he can't drink water. Ve'ein Sham Yain Yisrael, there's no wine to give him. Mutter legoda litan noi stam yeno, ubetnai sheyimzag b'shisha chalak amayim v'yasa amayim tchila v'achar kach hayayin. And the chazal v'yasa le'kach etzaber le'achar litan noi. Here's a shaila of if a kid cannot drink water. There were no other drinks in those days. They didn't have apple juice and orange juice. So the only other drink was wine. And all he had was stam yenam. So they had to give him stam yenam because it's a shemoneh-esrei that's only an issa d'Rabbanan. And we'll see soon. Only an issa d'Rabbanan, a torah-study, you can do it. Kasher already ruchim, siv aleph, karev aleph, the enlimchas ba'akam ha'machilim oisab isser. You don't have to moicha in a guy that's giving a Yisrael, a child, Isser, a different Yisrael doesn't have to stop him. A father has to stop because of chinuch. But you're not going to be machil a kid Issurim, and if you see a guy doing it, you don't have to stop the guy. Also, Isser. You're not allowed to tell a guy to give the child Isser, like on the Shaina, the tinnik needs it, Kigoyim. Very important. Shehu Ksas Chayla. He's a Ksas Chayla. Tzarfakak doesn't mean the kid wants it, he needs it. Then, Mutter Loimel La'akum La'achel Oisam. You're allowed to tell a guy to give him to eat Dvarim Ha'asurim. V'chein Yehagim L'Pesach Shemitzavam La'akum Lisa HaTinok L'Beisoi V'ashkosh Chometz. If the kid has nothing else to eat, only Chometz, you're allowed to, and he needs food, you're allowed to tell a guy that the guy should bring the child to his house and feed him chometz.
We just went from a Durabanan to a Duraisa, no?
No, because you're not doing it. The guy is doing it.
But you're having enough of it.
Yeah, but you're not having enough of it. The kid's having enough of it. Yeah, but here we're talking about the tell him to do Amir La'achim.
Right.
So it's only a Durabanan for you. Telling the guy to give the child for you is an issue Durabanan.
On top of that, Amir La'achim, you got a problem with
in a chometz. The kids in a chometz. We said we'll see soon. Here, look at this. Haraza v'tshuva kosav the middle of the tinuk, the goy achila, v'yamekipurim, achilan oisai, v'yadayim. Of a middle loy tzarech loy. The also linei achachofta al chaydish and allowed to nurse the child after 24 months. V'avsha amr la'alacha v'loy l'maisa, haran kosav stam l'maisa. V'imkein im atinuk chayla v'iev shaloset oisai chus b'bayis. Yivakesh me'akom sheyiton la'atinuk chometz v'akom maybe chometz v'amidra beisoi, he can leave it in his house. Havel echemtze shel akom. V'ad achsov v'halach akom l'pamim yachal l'tav v'katon liton loy this place to give him to drink. So here, if you look in this Magen Avraham, he starts off saying that you can tell a goy to give the child food. The Rashba says that the tzarech hatinik you're allowed to give him to eat in Yom Kippur. Achilon to be dying.
But there he's talking about choyleh.
Yeah, choyleh tzas. Yeah.
But any child you can feed in Yom Kippur is.
Yes, that's a shayla. So if you look in the Bir Halacha here, the Bir Halacha. Medivrei Seif, anything that's also Medivrei Seif, Aslan Achir, Tanamid Beis, the Bir Halacha, last one in the Siman. I think it's the only one in the Siman.
The only one.
Yeah. Medivrei Seifrim, but that's how Rashba Baran is our Rashba Baran we've just saw now in the Magen Avraham. To the end of the Siman, the Bir Halacha. So like this, that's Rashba Baran, the Matinik Sharafakach, the Tinik needs it. Now, obviously, needs it means a tzarech. I feel this was like be a dayim davar shu also midrabana is muter. So not even give it to him, you can give it to him directly, not through a guy. You're allowed to give the tinai dvarim asurim midrabana.
How is he defining tzarech? Are we talking about choyleh?
Choyleh tzas, not choyleh tzas. I mean, he needs it. The kid needs it to survive. He needs it. About if it's pekuach nefesh, I'm sure you can do it.
Right.
Not talking about pekuach nefesh. Talking about tzarech tzas. Yeah, not even getting ill. He has to eat. There's nothing else to eat. If you have something else to eat, you're not allowed to do it. If you get easy to buy a kid something else to eat, you're not allowed to do it. Kids, for example, another example is a famous example is the kid has to go to sleep at night. And the light in his room is on. So you're allowed to help the kid shut off the light. So if it's an Issa D'Rabbanan, if shutting off a light is an Issa D'Rabbanan, so it's Tzarech HaTinuk. So according to the Rashba and the Ran, Afil Safina Lai B'Yadayim, you're allowed to bring him to a light which will shut it off. For the Tzarech, that's called a Tzarech HaTinuk. He needs to sleep. It's not an extra thing. The kid has to sleep at night. So that's called a Tzarech. According to the Rashba and the Ran, if you're turning off a light as a D'Rabbanan,
that's your starting.
then you can do it.
Even if you yourself would get benefit from it. But let's say come to Shabbos night and you see that you left your bedroom light on.
No, but he's doing that.
And sometimes your kid sleeps with you and can you have
that's how you do exactly. If the kid sleeps in your room with you, then it's fine. But if you're going to put the kid to sleep now and then transfer because you want to light off, that's not a heter. It's not a heter. Huh? They're wrong. You can't do that. But if the kid needs it and you also learn from it, then you can do it. So this is only the Rashba and the Ran. The Mechaber doesn't say that. Mechaber says that anything, even with the Seif, is also to help a kid do it. But it's a feeling to be a dime, even if it's a tzarech. Maybe to tell a guy, that's how Magen Avram over here. Tell a guy to do it for a child, then you could make one. But for you yourself to help a child do it, this is the Rabbanon, that's this big halacha here. Mechaber says, Sasam Medina, that's a chalkin aleim, but Eisrin, the chal gavni. Because it shows the Reina Kiva Al derech al tilton al svaran beit hakneses. The mokum she'ein eruv. There's no eruv. We're talking about an Isser di Oiraisa. No, after talking about Isser di Rabbanan, he's bringing it through a Carmelist. Bringing it through a Carmelist. Ayidei tinuk, yes, Mitzmech Mazel Rashba, the Isser di Rabbanan tefilin lebi yadayim. Ha'isher b'zeh einoi. Ran kosa per kol-kisvei, the hedio, the afla Rashba tefilin lebi rakot tzarchoi, so you can't tell a kid to bring a siddur for you to shul, to carry a siddur for you to shul. It is no eruv. Why? Because that's for tzarchai, for your own tzarech. Tzarech hatinuk, then you could. Adrabah machinin b'yad have to be moicho. V'yesh takona litin hatinuk chumash b'siddur sheyitzim lebeis hakneses, v'tzarech atzmoi, for himself, v'spal, v'shmoy k'vizah Torah, v'meila yitztaref hagadol imay l'spal al-yachad. They could do, but it's only the kid's taking the siddur for himself.
So this doesn't hold by the Eruv.
Yes, that's a shiloh, chumash that you have. So that's chumash, doesn't hold the Eruv. So he doesn't carry the Eruv. But his kid carries an Eruv. So that's a different shiloh. That's your machmer not to use the Eruv. You hold the Eruv as possible. That's a big shiloh. A lot of people say that they don't carry the Eruv, but they let the wives and the children carry the Eruv. The children, okay, I can hear. But your wife or your wife. Your wife's allowed to carry it over, you're not. So they say, I'm only doing it with chumrah ba'alma. I don't have too much chumras than other people. Okay? You have to know, that's not really a halacha shayla, that's more a shkofa shayla. Exactly how to do it. But, if you don't hold the Eruv, you're machmer not to hold the Eruv, then you let a child do what he wants. Let a child carry. The child can understand. When kids can understand that my father's machmer. Fine, so that's the halacha behind the Rashba and the Ran, that the mekel that you could give a child directly. So finally be a dayer, that I give him an Issa D'Rabbanan, the tzarech hatinuk. The person can use this kula at certain times to mamish give a kid an Issa D'Rabbanan, be a dayer. To tell a guy to do it, that's a sources-mekorot. But for you yourself to give a guy an Issa D'Rabbanan, here already depends on the case. Child. You have a child to the Rabbanan, this already depends on the case, and this is very negate. For Macholos Asuris, today, Baruch Hashem, it's very rare to be matir. Very, very rare to give a kid Macholos Asuris. Something that's not kosher to eat, today is really no heter to do, there's so much available other food. It's not called tzarech hatinuk. But it comes down to other things. It's a Shabbos, a lot. Yom Kippur is the whole Shiloh. But that's a chumrah. That's a chumrah. That's a chumrah, yeah. Even gebracht, the Shiloh. Like this year, when last the Pesach falls on Shabbos.
Yeah.
So when do you make the knedlach? They are making on Shabbos. So when do you make it? Right. Erev Shabbos. that Erev Shabbos is Yom Tov. And the only thing you're allowed to make on Yom Tov is something you're allowed to eat. If you're not allowed to eat it, you're not allowed to make it. You're not prepared from Shabbos to Yom Tov. So the minute used to be they would give it to a child, the Chaylach, on Shvi Pesach. The question is, how can you do that? They have to give a child a gebrach on Pesach. Yeah? So, and the truth is even more. But kids, some people will be makel, the torah-study, to do gebrachs on Pesach. If a kid has to eat something, they'll be makel torah-study to feed him gebrachs. Now it depends how chomer that minhag was by you. But the scholars, in situations that kids need something to eat, they're scholars. That's not doing to machal sasuras. It's a big difference. To give a kid machal sasuras, it's what hamtam asalev, like a non-kosher meat, stuff like that. Chametz bePesach is a whole shal. It's called machal sasuras. It's a hamtam asalev. It's a whole different child. Okay, so that's the Mechaber holds that you're not allowed to give a child the nissa d'rabbanan, even if it's a tzarich. Only maybe through a guy you could do it. And the halacha is that from the Rashba and the Ran, they're allowed to give a child, you're allowed to feed a child the nissa d'rabbanan when it's a tzarich of the child. The same thing will be with helping a child be over nissa d'rabbanan if it's a tzarich of a child. People don't carry in a place where there's no aid. People stuff things in kids' pockets, and the kid carries it for them. But don't have to for that. Just a key to the house. So then they say it's child for child. He also has to get back into the house. So then it could be heter. Only if it's an issa d'rabbanan. Only if it's a carmel. The most places there are carmelists. But if it's only for you, there's no heter. Go to the Magen Avraham weiter. Because of Oide Beni Ruchim, the whole Davar Shum Mitzvah, Safinin Le Biyadayim. There's a very interesting Magen Avraham over here. That anything that's a Mishum Mitzvah, that means you want to be mechanech a child, and you wanted to do a mitzvah, but that mitzvah is a isim. Can you do it or not? For example, it says, you're allowed to be mechanech a child, he's allowed to blow a shofar on Shabbos. And we're not allowed to blow a shofar on Shabbos, so it's a d'rabbanan, a shvus. You're allowed to let a kid blow shofar, you're allowed to help him blow shofar on Shabbos. So the first Tosfos Pesachim, the case over there is a carbon Pesach. Halacha is, you're only allowed to eat from the carbon Pesach. Today's Pesach Sheni, so it's the end of the Yoma. You're only allowed to give a kid, you're only allowed to eat from a carbon Pesach if you were counted on the carbon Pesach. A monui. You have to do a monui on the carbon Pesach. Now, Ketanim, you're not allowed to add them to the carbon Pesach because they're not mitzvah in the mitzvah. They can't be monui in the carbon Pesach. That's for people that are mechuyev in the mitzvah. So how are you mechanech a child to eat from the carbon Pesach? They would catch 22 in. You're not allowed to make him money on the carbon Pesach, and you're not allowed to give someone to eat from the carbon Pesach because it's not money. So how do you give a child to eat from the carbon Pesach? Says like this: the mutter l'hachil Pesach l'katin, afa pishul limna olav, kivin shehu chinuch mitzvah. Since it's a chinuch mitzvah, so it comes out over here that when you're being mechanech a child, you're allowed to give him an issa d'rabbanan. It's a deraisa, not just issa d'rabbanan. It's a deraisa. Even though you're being safina le biyadayim, the tzarech mitzvah, you're allowed to be safina le biyadayim, which is a chiddush of Tosfos, and the Magen Avraham brings it down. So he says, "V'ayim asher ksavti siman reish lameches, yesh oimrim, the mitzvah say mutar lachil le biyadayim." So he says, some people say only mitzvah say is mutar lachila v'yadayim if it's a chinuch, if you're doing chinuch. So here's a big shot. A lot of times it comes up, you have to be mechanech a child, and through the chinuch, the only way you can be mechanech him is if you over nissa the inissa. So the Moshe has a whole tshuva about this. Moshe has a whole tshuva. Someone sent him a shaila if you're allowed to have co-ed schools. some people don't have the shaila b'chlal, but some people have the shaila. And they said to him, if you don't have a co-ed school, they said the reason why they don't matter is because it's a chinuch. You be mechanech children, and the only way they could do it was in a co-ed school. So it was a mutter to be over an isser of a co-ed in order to be mechanech children. That was the shaila sent to the Moshe. And it comes from this Magen Avraham. This says it's chinuch. So you're allowed to do an isser in order to be mechanech children. And the Moshe came out of isser. And Moshe did not allow to. And he said, because the Korban Pesach, it's Einer Monoi, he's over allowed eating it, but it's not going to affect him in the future. But a co-ed school will have an effect on children for life, and therefore, you're not allowed, even as little kids, you're not allowed to have a co-ed school. There's difference. So here's a chiddush. Any chinuch that you're doing and you're over an issue, that issue will affect the child in the long run, says the Moshe, it's awesome. So not every issue can be over. And then he says, Magen Avraham weiter, aber habshita de mekamokha mechuyev lechancha mitzvah sek galatzes lahem kiddush chayetze b'zeh v'ad you have to mechanech them. How about, there's a big shadow, you want to hand the kid something to eat before kiddush, are you allowed to do it? So it's awesome. So you can't do it. A father is not allowed to hand the child something to eat. If it's a tzorich, you can't make kiddush and the kid needs to eat, so then maybe you could be makel. It's almost like if a father to hand a kid something to eat before kiddush, the chayav should be also.
So, also for the kind of candies, you can't give your kids candy?
Yeah, you have to tell the kids have kiddush.
Why?
Yeah?
The kids come up to me because I give out lollipops.
Yeah.
So I have these 5-6-year-olds that come to me.
And they're eating before kiddush.
Candyman.
Candymans. The Candymans.
Man.
Nothing.
So
Oh, this
Can you see them? Are you supposed to inquire if they give you kiddush?
So here,
You just tell them you can't eat until after kiddush.
Maybe lollipops and food. Maybe it's.
that's not food, lollipops.
Yeah, some adults that want to let me eat lollipops. That's a different challenge.
The adults come to the lollipops. So it's interesting. I don't know. It could be the head is that the way they come to shul, the way they daven, because they get all.
Yeah.
So you're doing it chinuch. You're right. You're giving them something before kiddush.
It's an over them to do a mitzvah.
But it's an offer to do a mitzvah. So it could be the head for that.
Oh, good. I'm going to that.
And there's definitely head to. Candyman is like a part of party cells, part of the minimum party cell. I don't know if you can move off of it.
Candyman is a lawful motion machine.
It used to be Candyman, now it's box. I give boxes every time.
Yeah.
It used to be given a lollipop or a jelly bean. And you have to give it a whole Mike and Ike and the whole package.
Well, the Rav himself gives out.
Huh?
The Rav himself gives out information.
Yeah. There's got to be head for it.
Not the right one. It's not the right one.
Then it finishes off the Magen Avraham, Bachinuch, Kol Chad, the SEMICHA, Hayidea, Lesatet, Chai Betzitzis, Bishma Tfilin, Chai Betfilin, Hayidea, Me'inyan Shabbos, Chai Bekiddush, V'chein Kol K'yertza B'zeh. So there's a chiv to mechanech a child in Kiddush, it's a mitzvah say, when the kid comes of age, he has to know he has to have a Kiddush before he eats. Yeah, you do have a lot of times kids in school who have to eat something. You know, they're hungry and they have to eat, and they can't get Kiddush. So then you could give them Kiddush. It's called a torah-study. If you eat before Kiddush, it comes on into the Rabbanan, not into the right to eat before Kiddush. So then, according to the Rav and the Rav, it's a every time. Okay, that's it.
Will it make a difference in the parent with somebody else?
So failure would make a difference. Apparently, the chinuch also. So failure no one's allowed to feed different Yisrael double also, even the cotton. Okay, let's see the Ramah by it. The very important Ramah. Yes, I'm in the chol zeh b'cotton like gil chinuch. This whole din, going back in the beginning of the Siman, that a cotton eichel and veilus ain't bad than the tzuvah afrishay. It's only talking about a cotton the loy gil chinuch. A gil chinuch, a cotton that's a gil chinuch tzrichim afrishay even bezdin. Yes, I'm which is the Machaber Shita, to shayach chinuch bezdin elu la'avdul val. It's never shayach chinuch by bezdin, even though it's a gil chinuch.
Except for the father.
Only for the father. So this one aimed at something afrisha. Then again, to feed him, achila b'yadayim is worse. The katan shehika la'aviv, a katan who hit his father while there was a katan, a aviv shara averis b'katanusai, where the other averis while there was a katan, afa pisha ein shach tshuva, even though a katan doesn't have to do tshuva b'atzim because he is potter. Kishahigdil, v'kamokan toiv lo she'ikabel al atzma eze davar l'tshuva l'chapara, afa pisha abar kaidim shanasa bar einshin. Even though he did it before he's about einshin, it's still to die for a katan to do tshuva on his averis that did become nusa.
Are we making the assumption that there's no father on the scene based in responsibility would apply to him?
For what?
Because when it says Elalav Bilbad, Bishum Delo Shechinach Bebesin Elalav Bilbad. What happens if there's no father in the scene?
Yeah, there's something else. There's no father who goes to go. The mother goes, the bezin, yeah. Then there's the child. So there is a father. Can I see some Mishnah over here? Now look at Mishnah Berurah Seif Cotton Dalet. So he says that also the Machal Tinik. Where do we know that from? How do you know you're not allowed to feed? Even best, no one from Christ was allowed to feed a cotton davar aser, or not just feeding him, helping him do any davar aser. Also, the Chaladah Afulah Tinik any baravana klal, even though there's no understanding, still it's also to give it to him. The davar zeh also min ha-Torah, we have filalam in the Shratzim, by Seichlo, we cry Yisrael, which actually positive, we kibble Chazal. To not to learn and now I give them to eat. So even a child doesn't understand, and now I give him davar aser to eat. But achilum l'ktanim, v'chem b'dam k'sim k'navish v'chem v'seichel dam, v'kibul chazal d'rot l'oiman, v'yisachel l'ktanim, v'chem v'tumis kehanim k'siv, emor v'amar t'latzis pasha, v'am v'chazal, emor l'kedoilim sheyemru l'ktanim. V'ine v'shloisha mitzvahs elu an l'meidim l'chol ha'tayra kula, the chol is surei Torah also la'achilayim or l'tzavoisim sheyavu. Any is a Torah now give a child or tell him to do it. Even not food, even any type of visa deraisa. V'chein also litain l'tinik d'hamaychos of Israel afil l'schek boy, even to play with it, shema yechlenu, to have it to ma'achila b'yadayim, as if you're giving him to eat. Filu, v'lemele in Yehuda Shitin Davar also l'tinayich, to tell a goy to give something that's also to a child, gam kein also to m'chalisum, that mir la'akam also. Because when loyve l'tinayich atzmoi, sheyoichal the also, it's also. So now he says, v'im ha'tinayich sorach l'kach. If the tinayich needs it, to goy so ksas choyla. Mutter loyve la'akam, then he brings down the whole Mogen Avram that we had before. Fine, so now let's skip a little bit. Look at number in Sifkan Zayin. Srichon Afrishoy. Even some people hold that even Bezdin is Sarach Afrishoy. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Svidalei, the Kivet the Gil Lechinuch, Mutol al Kal Adam La Afrishoy Meisura Kamoy Ala Oviv. Since a child is a Gil Lechinuch, that even a father is mechuyev to be a mafreshim. Well, the time along the image of Afrisha b'shul agil l'chinuch. V'ayim chay adam shadaita the Indian isur deraisa yesh lahachmi. When it's deraisa, you have to be machmer. Today is zu. V'akein im ovid galila and reitza lahachel l'kotin Yisrael shagil l'chinuch davos asam deraisa mutal tam alacherim limchais biyadei. Avdava sheisur midabonan. Ein mutal rak ala am. Mishnah Berurah comes on a chumrah, psak halacha, that if you see somebody else's child who's doing an Isser D'Oraisa, it's a Giyah L'chinuch, you're mechuyev to stop the child from doing it. It's an Isser D'Oraisa.
Is that at that point you're into halacha-theory, no? Or
not for a child, for an adult. So you see a child doing an Isser D'Oraisa, even though it's not your own child, you're mechuyev to be mechiach him, you're mechuyev to stop him from doing it. And Isser D'Rabanan, you don't have to stop if it's not your child. That's what the Mishnah Berurah comes out of the Maisa.
Well, what happens when the parents there, you tell the father, and then the father says, it's all right.
And you have a chiyuv to do it yourself. Yeah, father's going to do it, you have a chiyuv to do it yourself. Yeah, that's a chiyuv to your moicha. Most of the things you see kids doing are not the righteous. What is yelling at his father? It's giving up aim. So that's the righteous. They have a chiyuv to stop him from yelling at his father. Even though his father can't, they have a chiyuv. So basically, a quick recap of the Siman is that a child that's doing something for you is not a Torah. Not even it's a Rabbanan, it's nothing. A child can never do anything for a Gadol. A child, even if it's not his father, the chiyuv to stop the child from doing it for you. That's the case of a dleika, the fire, and the kid comes to put out the fire. The chiyuv to stop the child even though it's not for you. Then you have, if a child is doing it for himself, so the Bezdin, Pashtas, the Chava Paskin, that Bezdin is not Mitzvah, not Frishai, but the father is. And the Ramah says that there's a Chumrah that even Bezdin has to be Mafreshim, just so the Chai Adam, and makes a chiluk between the Raisa and the Rabban. This is all the kid is doing it by himself. For you to help a child, or to give a child, then it's also for everybody, even for Bezdin. There is no chiluk between the father and Bezdin. But in the Rabbanon, we saw Raz Ben Aran that if the company needs it, for example, there may be a heter to give it to a child. With that, will be Messiah, halacha-Shabbos, or halacha-theory, Mr. Hashem. So that's Chazor. So what I'd like to do is like this.